Hello and welcome to Cricbuzz Live. Strange happenings have been happening at the Eden Gardens in the first semi-final. We were expecting scores in excess of 200, but the New Zealand bowler said, no sir, not on our watch. They had South Africa on the ropes at 77 for 5, and then Marco Jansen stood tall, literally and figuratively, and scored 55 of 30 deliveries, taking South Africa to a somewhat respectable 169 for 8 at the end of 20 overs. Now the point is, will that be enough to keep their hopes alive for the final, or will New Zealand pip them to the post? I'm Gaurav Kapur, with me Michael Vaughan and Dinesh Karthik. Gentlemen, the question is, will New Zealand pip them to the post?
They've made a good effort getting to where they are, but is it good enough? I don't think so. I feel the pitch is slightly slow, but it's definitely not a 170 kind of pitch. You need a lot more than that. Add to the fact that I'm assuming there will be a bit of dew, which will mean it should be a bit of a, I won't say easy chase, but a very chaseable target. New Zealand bowled well. I thought they were clever with their tactics, which is something you should come to expect if you play New Zealand.
Yeah.
South Africa, I think, fell into the trap that probably Michael Vaughan said, which is go hard knowing that you need a tall score, lose 2 very early, and then you're playing catch up after that.
Yeah, they were playing catch up, but I don't think they've caught up.
No, I mean, if this was a group stage game, let's be honest, we'd be sitting here going, they'll stroll this.
Yeah.
It's an easy chase, but it's a semi-final, so that plays a lot more in terms of the pressure, desperate to get to the final, so that's the only thing that I could say that there could be a little bit of a blip for New Zealand. They've got all this batting as well, they've gone for an extra batter, but South Africa didn't quite play the way that I've seen them play.
Yeah.
Even, Aidan Mark, I know he lost a couple of wickets, but he's generally been really aggressive. He couldn't get into the flow, and they've relied on a very tall chap to get them to a decent number with a great 50. By the way, his bat looks too short for him. I think he's got it looks like he's using a Harrow bat. He needs a longer bat.
Anything looks too short for him.
Yeah, he just needs a long bat. But he played great and he's given them, a glimmer. He's given them a glimmer. But, you look at New Zealand in the field. I mean, the flying Phillips dropped one. Ratchin dropped a simple one at mid-wicket. So it could have been a lot better for the Kiwis. So. But I think at the start of the innings, if you said to New Zealand, South Africa will get 169, I think they'd go, yes, please, straight away. So they should have enough, but it's the pressure of a semi-final that can play tricks on a few people.
True. 169 would get you a handshake and a couple of hugs as well. They'd be very, very happy with that outcome, right, given before the match?
Without a shadow of doubt. I feel New Zealand would be very happy considering they won the toss, put them into bat, and they would have hoped they'll get him 180, 190, but they ended up getting 170, which is a bargain, I feel.
Yeah.
And
nervy? Do you think both the teams are a little nervy with New Zealand with those fielding? I mean, you don't see New Zealand drop those. Yes, Phillips has dropped the odd one here and there, but that one it's just strange. Phillips doesn't drop catches. South Africa doesn't bat like this. Do you think both the teams are just a touch nervy?
I don't know what's in the air in Calcutta. Even India versus West Indies, every team dropped 2 catches. India, West Indies, and now New Zealand. So maybe it's not been that easy taking catches. I can't defend them beyond a point because I don't know exactly why. At least Rachin's catch was a very simple one. That should be taken. Phillips' catch still a very hard one. The beauty of him is he ran so fast that he was able to make it. Half the fielders won't even make it. And then because you're running so fast, your head is obviously wobbling, and then you need to obviously balance yourself and keep your head still, which he couldn't. And that's why he looked to take the catch. But the fact is, it didn't hit his hand at all. It hit his tummy and fell down.
But he should have just stayed on the ground. He was airborne at the time. I don't know. Did you notice that?
Flying Phillips,
he ran to it and then he just flew. He didn't need to.
That's the way he takes them. I mean, I saw actually quite a cool tweet about Phillips. So he's not a great catcher, but he's a taker of great catches. So he takes great catches, but he drops.
Was this Christopher Nolan? Who said this?
Yeah, but look, I haven't studied him ultimately about every catch that he's dropped or taken, but I think he's got a history of dropping the ball, but he's got a history of taking some of the best catches that have ever been seen. So maybe I do think on that he did a lot of running. I think he put a bit of mayo on the action.
I like that.
Do you know what I mean? If he'd have run around just taking it like that,
but he just a bit of, I tell you what it is. It's a bit of razzmatazz.
I thought there was a little bit of mayo on the dive. Yeah, just a little bit.
In India, they keep it simple, overacting this.
Yeah.
In India, they call it overacting. That's right.
A bit of salt and pepper on the kind of steak.
Just a little bit.
Just keep it
There's
nice.
perhaps no need of that.
Yeah.
But South Africa is going to look at this. When you look at that You look at that batting lineup and you see the results that they've got today, they will be very unhappy with this outcome.
Yeah, you have to say that. Quinton de Kock started with the right intent, got out. Rickleton was obviously a first bowler, you can't say much. Markram looked very rusty, just couldn't get going. Right through his innings, gave it a chance and then got out in a very meek manner, I thought. Previs was brilliant. I thought he batted really nicely. He was trying to handle pressure the best way he can. Miller again, just a bit of, I won't say nothing shot, it's something that is a shot that he plays very well, but it just didn't connect. Tristan Tubbs absorbed pressure, but he couldn't put it back on them when the moment was there. Marco Jansen was the best batter by a distance. Obviously, the other three couldn't obviously contribute as much. But overall, as Michael said, if it was a league game, I would have said New Zealand were going to walk all over it, but because it's a semi-final and 2 wickets just changes the complexion of the game, knowing the fact that you might have to take a flight to go back home. Now, whether they can really, I don't know because of what's happening outside in the world, but that pressure is a different feeling altogether.
I mean, New Zealand can. There's no problem going that side. South Africa, that'd be a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Just for that, South Africa would tell New Zealand, listen, guys, we can't go home anyway. You can. So maybe do somebody a favor here. I don't think it should be a problem, but to what DK is saying, Michael, could there be a twist in the tail yet?
Yeah, they could. You know, I mean, we've spoken about the last three teams in the field have dropped 2 catches. I don't think South Africa can drop a ball. There's no chance that they can give any opportunities to this Kiwi batting lineup. And they, you know, you've got McConchy coming in at number 9. So you're kind of looking at that batting line thinking, for Nisham at 8, it's got everything. I just can't see anything but a New Zealand victory.
Yeah.
I'd love to try and G it up and say it's going to be a tight one, but the only way it can be a tight one is if, I guess, Rabada nicks off a couple in the first over or 2, and then Jansen gets a couple, and you think, oh, they're 4 down, 50 for 4, and then there's a game on. But it's got to the stage so early in the piece. New Zealand win the power play. I think that's game over.
Tell me this, Michael, when you were captain, if you had a low score to defend, what's the kind of mindset that you would, let's assume the pitch is decent. And you
Go aggressive.
Go aggressive.
Like
keep the slips and
yeah.
ask a ball.
Not necessarily slips, but really aggressive with, you know, the field is being tight.
If the boundary goes, you're not going to be too frazzled, but you know it's like...
It's not an issue. I mean, I mean, the only way that the New Zealanders can falter is if they lose early wickets. So South Africa's... And it's not chasing the wicket. You know, you just got to try and hammer the top of off stump. Try and hammer the top of off stump with those quick bowlers and just see what happens.
And they've got 4.
You know, a little bit of variation, but make sure you bowl dead straight. They need wickets, so they've got to bring in all the dismissals. So they've got to get the LBWs, the bowls, the caught behinds, and the poor shot big skiers. So the only way they can get to that is just hammer the top of off stump as many times as they possibly can and try and force the issue. They're up against it because they haven't got a big enough number. So you're saying to your bowlers now, come on, just sometimes in a team sport like we play, you sometimes as a batter you don't quite get what you should get, and you say to your bowlers, come on, please, please just get us out of a hole.
Yeah,
we've not quite delivered for you, but please get us out of a hole. They'll have to get. This is a quite a large hole that they've put themselves in.
Yeah, and actually the one who dug them out of the hole is going to be one of the bowlers. It's Marco Jansen, and they will depend on him with the ball. But he was just brilliant today. It's just, I told you, I really enjoy watching him bat. It's just some of those sixes, right? And he hit a fair few of them. Some of those sixes were hanging in the air for what seemed like a good minute.
He's got long levers, GK. He's taller than you, I think. So you can imagine the long levers that he has. So it's almost a very smooth swing that he has. He's not a power guy. He's not going to go bang. It's more like it's like a golf swing, and it just goes nicely. He's got a rhythm to it. And he's always been a good hitter of the ball. I think his work was against spin, understanding situation and how he reacts to it. And that's where he's grown in stature. When he plays for Sunrisers in Mumbai, for Sunrisers in SA20, he's played some tremendous knocks when the team was down and out. Like I remember one game against MI Cape Town, they were 40-50 for 5 and he will smoke it. Like Rashid Khan, he will take them down chasing down. That video was doing the rounds as to how he hit Rashid Khan actually. And that's when he claimed to fame as a batter. It was like, oh, Marco Jansen can bat now. And from there, he's slowly but steadily grown through the ranks. Now in Test cricket, he's made a few little contributions. Now he's almost a proper all-rounder who you can trust on to bat. And he's done a fabulous job in most places.
If you look at the New Zealand bowlers, you'll say that pretty much all of them were in the game. It was a solid team effort actually from most of them. James Neesham, who came into the game today, in place of Ish Sodhi was the most expensive, but otherwise there was 2 wickets from Matt Henry. There was a brilliant over by McConkey. He is like, yes, thank you, I'll have that.
But that was the problem for South Africa. They lost wickets in clusters.
Yeah.
They kept on losing a couple of wickets, which was, making the 2 players that were out there just play a little bit more circumspect for a period because they lost the 2 wickets. Yeah, and you see that's the worst case scenario in T20 cricket. Those 2 wickets that right on the stroke of the 10th, Miller, and then obviously Brevis straight after. That's really the key because we saw Miller and Brevis do some damage to India. So they've been out of that 3-for position before in this tournament, and Miller and Brevis have been in such fine form. With those 2 wickets there, and 2 wickets that they could possibly have avoided around that time, they would have ended up getting another 20 runs, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, true, because that's literally like L4 and L5 of the spine that they took out in those 3 deliveries, right? These 2 were gone and they were very dependent on them. What's the power play that New Zealand is looking at here to say, we need to close this game out in the first 6 overs? Definitively get to something after which minimal risk can take them to the 170. So where is that golden point in this power play, as Michael refers to, win the power play?
55 to 60 is a good score.
Yeah.
For the key is you don't want to lose too many wickets. That's when South Africa can get into the game. I think 8 runs, 8 to 8.5 in the last 14 is very gettable.
If I was New Zealand, I'd go even more aggressive in this power play.
And they have the guys. They got the people.
Yeah, and Seifert and Finala's natural game is to whack it.
Yeah.
I'd be saying to him, go and explode. Give yourself a few balls, as you mentioned earlier, just see if it's swinging, just to see. But if the ball's not swinging, and it's going to be primarily a lot of pace, Maharaj might bowl 1 or 2, but it's going to be pace. Just try and take them down. Try and take them for 65, 70 in the power play. That's the game done.
Well, South Africa's got proper pacers. They've got Jansen, they've got Rabada, they've got Corbin Bosch, and they've got Lungi and Gidi. So 4 of them, they're in good rhythm. They've almost always taken 3 wickets in the power play against most oppositions. They've done it more often than not. Today is the day these guys really have to step up and do that. New Zealand on the other side will want to win this power play. And of course win the game. And then go to Ahmedabad for the final. Oopsie daisies. Advantage New Zealand right now, gentlemen?
Yep.
Do you want to give a number? Do you want to give me some indication? 70-30?
This number game I'm fed up of. You jinxed me, I feel. You said that you're going too high DK. It could end up being 170, you said, and really became 170.
The thing is that...
You mean the percentage chance of New Zealand winning?
Yeah.
You jinxed me.
I think it's 70%.
You did jinx me.
I jinxed you? But the fact is that if you had heard me closely, and this is the problem I have a lot, because when you got a pretty face, people don't listen to you, is that I had said it could be a 170 game. I said it. It's a 170 game.
Actually, you should use the word jinx in context, actually, because when you're bottom of the line, you don't get jinxed. You just play to your
Are you at the
potential.
bottom of the guessing? Are you really bottom of the charts?
You say jinx, but jinx is bottom of the league.
You jinxed me. That's right. You jinxed me there.
I'm going to say, should we go middle of the road? I don't think New Zealand's going to be middle of the road. This is not going to be 50. It's either going to be 70 or it's going to be 40. That's what I feel.
No, don't say both. Somewhere I'll stick next to you because right now I'm losing
But
confidence.
listen, I'm third from bottom in the guessing game list, so I'm no better.
59.
Sorry, waiting for me. Literally waiting for me. I'm going to go 65.
Somewhere in between, I'm going to stick to 60. I'll just be very close to the better player here in the room.
That's true.
The luckier man.
He is the luckier man. All right, let's see what Finn Allen and Tim Seifert can do. Remember, if they get to anything above 50, 55, maybe without losing a wicket, then it's definitely New Zealand who's going to be flying to Ahmedabad for the final. But there's still a lot of cricket left in this game. 170 to win for New Zealand. Thank you for watching Cricbuzz Live. We'll see you on the comm box at the end of 10 overs to see how this chase is going. Goodbye.